What is up, boys and girls? Welcome to episode 17 of the Good Point Bro podcast. My name is Caden. This is my brother Cameron. We know you're going to love today's video, so please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're going to get right into it today. Well, first off, Cameron's NFL takes have been pretty rough lately.
Yeah, they've been pretty bad.
The reason I say this is because today, Cameron's only going to talk about the NBA. I'm going to take a back seat. I knew he was going to say that I couldn't beat him in an argument, and that's why I'm taking a back seat. So I just want to go ahead before he even has the opportunity to say that and say that I'm destroying him in the NFL.
Yeah, but I have one prediction that's doing super well. Lamar Jackson's not letting me down. I predicted he was going to be the fourth best quarterback this season. You do have an argument that he could be the best because he's on pace to have 68 touchdowns this year.
5,000 total yards.
Yeah, so he's going crazy.
Shout out Ethan.
Yeah, he was dogging me for that pick, so yeah, what's up with it? I'm going to send you this clip too because I don't appreciate it.
You better be on your hands and knees.
Yep.
Begging.
Lamar, I said the Ravens are a top 5 team, which they are. They just beat the Patriots at the Patriots, so it's a pretty good win.
Did you see that the Raiders are the only team 0-3 and that they haven't had a rushing touchdown all year?
Yeah, I mean, Derek Carr kind of reminds me a lot of Kirk Cousins, where like he just shows these flashes and he'll start getting some people behind him.
Yeah,
he'll just straight let you down. Like, just straight let you down.
Yeah.
And he's not even playing terrible, but...
Well, they have 0 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah,
and Josh Jacobs, my boy. What's up?
Dude, I totally forgot about him. He was a stud. But, yeah, I mean, he kind of just lets you down. He kind of just does that, so...
But anyway, like I said, we're going to get right in the NBA. First, if you think my jersey's fire, please go ahead and comment. If you don't, my feelings get hurt really easily, so please don't say anything. Because I'll probably quit the podcast. Anyway, we're going to get right in the NBA. The topic of discussion for today is Cameron's going to go ahead and give his best NBA regular season team of all time. This isn't playoffs. This isn't finals. This is just the regular season. And Cam, I'll let you have the floor with that one.
Yeah, guys, this is a super easy one. It's not the 72-10 Bulls. It's the 2015-2016 Golden State Warriors, which has 73 wins, NBA record. Started off with 24 straight wins, NBA record. 54 straight home game wins, NBA record. I mean, they were the best team ever in the regular season. It wasn't even close. Draymond Green, who is a borderline Hall of Famer, had a plus-minus of 1,070 that year, which is an NBA record. Draymond Green. I mean, that team was so locked in, so focused. They won 67 games the year before, and they just got exponentially better. And a lot of that was how Curry just probably had the best season of his career besides the playoffs. But just Curry took them to another level, and everybody just got better.
Do you think that if the 72-10 Bulls knew the record was 73-9, they would have gotten 74?
Probably. But I think if the Warriors knew it was 74 wins, they would have got 75. Oof. They literally started off the year 24.
Remember when they had to win like their last 5?
Yeah, and the Spurs twice. They beat the Spurs twice, who won 67 games that year and only lost like 2 games at home. I mean, they were on another level. On another level.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro.
So,
I'm with you.
I don't think there's much of an argument with that.
I'm not going to try to dispute that one, guys, but here's what we're going to let you all do. Is go ahead and hit up the comments if you disagree. Give your argument on why Cameron is wrong and why the Bulls or whoever you have is the actual best team of all time. And, you know, if it's a good argument, I might rate it on here.
In the regular
we'll let
season.
Cameron give his 2 cents and, you know, whatever. Maybe we can get you on Zoom or something. Who knows? We're going to move over to the NFL. First things first and not ESPN, we're going to start with the Bills and Dolphins game. I said it was going to be a close game. I did expect it to be a little bit more high scoring. My takeaways from the game is that the Dolphins' defense is actually better than we thought. A lot of that also has to do with the conditions of the field. It was hot. It was humid. If you remember right before the half, the Bills are driving. They're about to get a field goal. Josh Allen slips the snap, runs out of time, so he has to throw the screen. Lucky it wasn't a pick six also. But you do see that the conditions kind of weighed on Josh Allen, and the ball just kind of slipped through his hands. So I think the home field advantage was ridiculous for Miami that game. I think if that game's in Buffalo, it's a different story. But it was at Miami. And then I do think, regardless of that, my initial prediction of that you'd see that the Dolphins' offense is legit. Even with the Bills having 6 guys out on defense, I still think that you got to see a lot from Tua and the Dolphins offense, and I think they look exceptional. I think they're going to end up finishing a top 5 offense in the NFL. If not top 5, top 7, just right around top 5 to 7. But at times they could definitely show, spikes of being a top 3, here or there. I mean, when you have that well of an offensive showing, when Tyreek Hill has 3 receptions for 20 yards.
Well, it wasn't like an amazing offensive showing at all. They scored 21 points.
That's another thing about their defense, though. They had exceptional field position. The Dolphins' defense was on the field. They had good field position. And
they got a gimme touchdown. They literally had first and goal. No, their first touchdown.
Their first one, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tua had like 180 yards. I mean, Tua played well and made plays when they needed to make plays. Yeah, and Bills had but
when they needed to go up by 7, because it was
he made the plays that
he
they needed to
made
play.
a great pass to Jalen Waddle, split the safeties, and then threw another great pass to score the touchdown. After he was tripping and falling all over the place because apparently his back hurt.
Yeah, that's the worst. That is the worst explanation I've ever heard. Like, you don't fall like that because your back hurts. He fell like he got hit by a tranquilizer dart. He felt like he got hit by a tranquilizer dart.
Which I've seen someone else do that. Who shook their... Tony Ferguson shook his head in the UFC.
Like, he got...
After getting clocked.
Like, it looked like he got clocked by McGregor. It looked like McGregor gave him a 1-2 punch.
It did, bro. It literally actually did. Yeah. He literally shook his head like this and then tripped and fell.
That's how they look like. It looked like when Daniel Cormier got kicked by John Jones. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. He was running around the octagon and just like tripping everywhere. And was like he was spazzing out. And then imagine that's running after you full speed. John Jones just straight. He started kicking him, hitting him like with elbows. Those nasty elbows he would throw. My goodness. I mean,
just to keep on topic, I don't think we learned too much about the Dolphins besides that their defense is better than we thought, and that their home field advantage is one of the best in the NFL. The other thing that I like about the Dolphins is that their special teams really knows how to block punts, even on offense, and it was just amazing to see that butt punt. And
that was the Broncos. That was the Broncos.
Oh, shoot, it was.
Yeah.
Wait. The Dolphins had something weird.
I don't know, but that was the Broncos game because I watched that
last
night.
The butt punt was really funny.
No,
congrats to Mark Sanchez for not being
the part of that.
I mean, he still is the butt fumble. What? The butt punt.
Oh well, did you see that Jimmy Garoppolo stepped out of bounds to get a safety?
Yeah, did you see Dan Orlovsky?
Yeah, tweeted Step Brothers.
Dan Orlovsky said freedom.
Yeah.
Bro, Dan, yours was so much worse. Yours was.
Jimmy was going to get sacked.
Have you seen Dan Orlovsky?
No, I've never seen it. But Jimmy was about to get sacked. I mean,
so
that's a little
Dan Orlovsky's is probably the worst I've ever seen. So I'm going to show this to Cam. It probably won't show up on the screen for reasons that I can't show. But, maybe I'll make a clip of it on TikTok, so look out for that. But here's 6 years ago. Dan Orlovsky, he's playing for the Lions. And he runs. He catches a snap and runs out of bounds. And, oh, man, is it bad. So I guess you'll get to watch our reactions to that. I'm sorry that you can't watch the video. He's right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Calvin Johnson against the Vikings.
Oh, my goodness. That was the worst play I've ever seen.
He literally steps out. He literally is jogging.
It's like his controller glitched on NCAA.
Yeah,
that's how bad it was.
It looks like his controller died.
Yeah.
And his guy just kept drifting.
That is the worst thing I've ever seen.
It literally looked like he's playing NCAA football, drop back, hit the right stick, and then his controller died mid-move.
That is not the same as Garoppolo. Garoppolo barely stepped out and was getting chased and was about to get sacked. Now, it's still you still got to throw it away, but that's not even comparable. It's not even close.
Man, but yeah, that's funny. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Dan Orlovsky, you're not off the hook, but whatever, It is what it is.
I do think that the Dolphins, though, I mean, they showed a lot that game, and I think, Tua came up as a super high prospect, was great at Alabama. It's not like this guy has no talent. Like, he has an extraordinary amount of talent, and he is getting more comfortable in the NFL, it seems like. So, it's not like he's just coming out of nowhere.
He's getting more
third overall pick.
And like I've been saying this whole time, his offense and head coach is catered to him as the centerpiece of the offense. and you have to do that, especially with a quarterback as unique as Tua. He's a lefty.
Yeah,
He does it. He has to have quick, accurate throws. Like you can't just be like a generic offense and have a guy
style
like
is that called?
I guess pro style, but what do you mean?
Like there's a type of style that he is. I forget what it's called. I don't know.
I guess his overall type would just be a pro style QB. Maybe he's become more of a pocket passer as he's gotten older, and more injuries and stuff. But yeah, so I guess that's all we have to say about that one. Sorry, I messed up on the butt punt. That was the Broncos game.
Yeah, and
which was the most boring game I've ever seen.
That deserved to be in that game because that's the only thing that made it interesting. It was the worst game I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was
the
boring.
Broncos suck. They're the worst 2-1 team in the NFL.
And they're not Good Point Bros called that on Russell Wilson, by the way.
And yeah, we did. We said that was a bad contract. And it's not like they have no weapons either. Now, they had some drops. They did have some drops. But Sutton and Judy are two solid receivers. So, I mean, Broncos, what are you doing?
Give Tom Brady Sutton and Judy.
And Jimmy Garoppolo, you're not making most of this opportunity. They're going to be giving Trey Lance steroids to get back if you keep playing like that.
It's rough. Packers versus Bucks. A snooze fest on the offensive side. Packers defense is legit. Bucks defense is legit.
Pretty sure I said
you saw that
was
in that
gonna be
game.
low scoring on the podcast that we talked about it.
I remember that we both picked the Packers, so that's a W.
Yeah, we did. Because he never beats Tom Brady, so I was like, it's gotta eventually happen. I mean, last year they were up 10-0 and then got crushed.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers basically called himself like one of the GOATs after that game too.
Of course he did. I like Aaron Rodgers though.
I like that he's humanized himself with all these like podcasts and stuff. He's cool.
Yeah, the podcast.
He seems like a more real person.
Good.
Yeah,
he does seem. He's super arrogant. And
my mom's always like his family hates him.
Really? Do they hate
him? Yeah, his brother. She's like his brother won't talk to him.
I mean, that is a lot.
Yeah,
that does show a lot about.
Shout out Josh, bro.
Their family hates you. What about Josh?
Josh will defend him. I don't know if you will or not. Josh, do you defend him or? What's that about? Do you like him or what? I know you think he's like the most talented.
Fan. No, he's been replaced. Patrick Mahomes is the most talented.
Yeah, whatever.
And he's gonna get more rings.
He probably will. I mean, Andy Reid.
Well, Aaron Rodgers did win one early too, so you never
Aaron Rodgers
know.
would never lose to the Colts ever.
Well, that's why he's lost 4 NFC Championship games in a row.
Are Eagles the best team in the NFC? I said this last week, and I'll say it again. Yes, they are. I'm sticking with it. They're the best team in the NFC. They're 3-0. The games aren't incredibly impressive, but Jalen Hurts' stride from last year to this year is exponential. It's insane. And to me, they're the best team in the NFC. There's obviously some debate there. It's close. It's only week 3, but so far from what I've seen in the NFL, they've got to be number 1. And after this week, they're probably either 2 or 3 in the whole NFL. Just based on the few weeks that I've seen.
No.
Just based on I already had them 3 last week. I'm going to stick with it.
You put them over the Chiefs?
No.
So you don't. Okay, you just said
Bills,
2 or 3.
Chiefs, Eagles. That's what I had last week.
You put them over the Dolphins?
I did last week. I put Dolphins at 5 before they won.
Okay, then
I'd probably still put them over the Dolphins.
I think people are way overshooting. I don't know. Okay, the Rams are 2-1 right now. I don't know if I put them over the Rams. I don't know. I don't know if I put them over the Bucs.
I'm just saying on what I've seen, the Rams looked very human against the Bills.
I definitely don't.
Especially after seeing that the Bills are beatable.
I definitely don't put them over the Bucs with all the injuries they've had and the guys that are coming back on offense. I'm not putting them over the Bucs. I can't do it. I'm not jumping the gun on these guys. I would say
the Bucs.
I would say the Packers. I would not. Huh?
The Bucs lose 6, 11-6, 10-7, 11-6.
Okay, the Eagles could definitely lose 6 games this year.
Not in that division.
They do have a really poor division. That's true. Yeah, they lucked out on that.
But yeah, I think they'll end up.
I don't put them over the Bucs. I don't put them over the Rams yet. I'd have to see them play better competition. But I would put them over the Packers just because of all the. I don't know how their offense is going to look and their receivers and stuff. See if they grow.
I mean, the Packers had the best regular season last year in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't.
So I mean, you're basing this off of last year for some things.
Well, Rams won the Super Bowl,
right?
And I'm
not basing it off of last year whatsoever. That's why I have them over both teams.
Okay, well, yeah, they have the best record, and I guess they've looked the best, sure, But I'm
Yeah, I mean
saying
their
that
defense looks.
still,
Their defense.
I still think people are jumping the gun too early with the teams they play.
I mean, I know the team they played was trash, but the NFL 24-0 in college is
No,
like
it's-
60-0.
It's good. It's good, but I just want to see them do it against better teams.
Yeah, we'll see.
But they're being who
that
they're
leads
supposed
us
to
into
be.
our next
so.
topic, which, I think we'll agree on this, but there's only 2 3-0 teams left: Dolphins, Eagles. Who's off to the more impressive 3-0 start? For me, obviously, it's the Dolphins, just because of the now. Here's I have an argument for both. My initial argument is obviously that the Dolphins have played harder teams. That's got to be your main argument, is they played harder teams, and you have to take that into consideration. It's probably the majority of the consideration. However, when I do look at the Eagles and the strides that they've made since last year, it's hard not to be impressed with their overall play despite who they played. It feels like when I watched their last week's game that they would have beat whoever they played. It didn't matter who it was. So when I look at it that way, you almost could pick the Eagles just because of the stride that they've made. But overall, just because of the teams that the Dolphins have beat, because they beat the Patriots, and both were at home. They beat the Patriots and the Bills. Both are at home. So I don't know, but they beat the Ravens. I think all 3 were at home.
No, Ravens was at the Baltimore.
Okay, so they beat those are 3. So, I mean, Patriots, then Ravens, then Bills. Lamar Jackson obviously looks like the MVP. He did that game too. And that shows you how good that offense is. Right after seeing the Bills get held to that same defense, shows you how good that Lamar Jackson is. Incredible. Okay, every week the Ravens will owe him more and more money until they can't afford him.
Yeah, should have signed him when he did. It's gonna be a record how much money they give him. It's gonna be ridiculous.
It's like it's a contract.
It's gonna be like
$55
million a year. It's gonna be stupid.
And the funny thing is, if they don't, someone will, because the NFL loves their QBs.
Yeah, someone
will pay him.
Yeah, Bears, please.
But yeah, so overall, I guess I'd have to go with the Dolphins, but I could definitely see a case for the Eagles. I'm excited to see how the year plays out between those 2 teams, both run by Alabama QBs. Roll Tide.
I don't disagree with you. I would say I might lean toward the Eagles a little bit because of how everybody's just like they're the best team in the NFC. So a lot of people think, I guess, their start is more impressive because nobody's putting the Dolphins over the Chiefs and Bills. So I guess you got to put that in consideration too.
Right.
So that's all I got to say about that.
So we're going to move over into college football. Starting off with this, bro, it's something that I've noticed all year long so far. I've never seen this many game-winning field goals line up and just shank them. Or they go off the post or something. This is the most field goals I've ever seen missed to win games. I've seen a lot of missed field goals in college. But there's a lot of go-ahead late-game field goals, and they're not even close. I don't know if you guys saw. So Arkansas missed one to lose. Missouri played Auburn. Missouri's kicker was all SEC. Didn't take one practice kick on the sideline. Not a single one. Thought he was too good. Walks up on the 2-yard line and whiffs. Just straight whiffs. Goes to overtime. Auburn wins by a field goal. 17-14.
Yeah, but you know what happened in overtime? The dude had a wide open touchdown and had his hand out like this and fumbled on the 1. Nobody was even really around him. All he had to do was walk in the end zone and fumble.
No, I'm with you.
That was the worst
specifically talking
game.
About the field goals.
It was not the. It's just the worst. I mean, they completely gave it to Auburn, but that was the funniest game I've ever seen. You miss a kick easier than the extra point, and then you fumble on the 1-yard line in overtime to win. I mean, that was phenomenal. It doesn't get much. If Shackton a fool had football, oh my gosh, that would have been like the headline for a year. That was just straight golden. I wish Shackton a fool was even more than basketball. Yeah. It's just so good.
Not top 10. It'll be on there.
Oh, it'll be it needs to be 1A, 1B.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, so I've seen so many field goals missed this year. It's ridiculous. Eastern Carolina missed one week 1. I only know that because I picked them to beat NC State and they missed. Sucks. But Missouri, I mean, like I keep seeing this meme from my friends that live in Auburn. And it said, like, God, why do you give me your toughest battles? And it's like this sad, like, depressed looking guy. And then it shows God, and he's like, you just had to beat the second worst team in the SEC.
Yeah.
like Auburn, you're, like, really bad.
Yeah.
Like, you're bringing down Alabama's strength and schedule so bad.
They're getting to a point where it's like, okay, like, is this going to be, like, for a decade now of them just being bad?
Yeah, you're right. Because it was almost like, they rebuild a little bit. Yeah. They'll win 10 games in 2 years.
I think they're about to go into a depression.
Like, they're so bad. Like, 10-win game. And you kind of knew that when Bo Nix and Tank Bigsby dipped. And so did, I think Smoke dipped too on their defense.
Did
Smoke
Oregon
Monday.
end up beating Washington State? Yeah, Washington State.
Oregon did, yeah. Bo Nix is playing
they're
well
3-1.
ever since.
Wow. Good for Oregon. That's making
They're highly ranked.
Georgia's
Yeah.
it's making Georgia's win look a lot better.
Yep.
But Georgia did not
They
look
won
that good against
44 to
Kent State.
41. So, I mean, Bo Nix was 33 for 34 with 33 for 44. Not 34. For 428 yards, 3 touchdowns. So
wow. It's probably the best game of his career.
it probably is.
Besides his beating Alabama in 2019.
He has 1,100 yards in 3 games, 10 touchdowns, 3 picks.
That's pretty good.
I think 2 of those picks were against Georgia.
I'm sure.
Pretty sure. He threw 2 picks for sure against Georgia.
What do you think about Georgia looking a little rough
Come on, Bo.
against Kent State?
You're just trashing in the SEC. Maybe that's what it was. You can't compete with SEC defenses. That's what it is for sure.
What do you think about Georgia looking a little rough against Kent State?
I think it's probably good for them, and I wish it didn't happen.
Because they tighten up.
Yeah, they got exposed, and now they can see what they can work on. But best case scenario, they get exposed, and then teams can kind of use those same things against them all year.
I watched their receivers. For you to say they're dynamic makes 0 sense. Their receivers are not dynamic whatsoever.
Their tight ends are ridiculous.
Their tight end is, Bowers. He's
3.
the best tight
They have
end.
3 of them.
I know, but he's the best tight end in
The country.
college football.
Bowers is
But
ridiculous.
nah, man, Alabama's receivers are definitely more athletic and dynamic like Russell Westbrook in 2016, those years, he was the most dynamic player in the NBA.
You're confusing dynamic with athleticism.
No, I'm not. He was the most dynamic player. Do you know what dynamic means?
I just think that you're focusing more on athleticism, and you don't necessarily see
That's
that.
a huge part of being
It
dynamic.
is part of it, but there's more to being a dynamic player. Dynamic player can do multiple things on the field.
They can't
and they're
do that.
exceptional at multiple things.
No,
on the
they're
field.
not. They're not. They're just run-of-the-mill wide receivers. Their tight ends are dynamic, I'll give you that, but their receivers are not dynamic. Like, I think Brooks can be the best wide receiver.
The most dynamic
in the
player
NCAA.
on Bama's team is Gibbs, not a
Yes,
receiver.
agreed. 100%. He is a pro.
Alabama versus Arkansas this weekend. What's your prediction? What you got?
I think Alabama does struggle at home. The spread is 16 or 17. I would not bet over that spread. I think that Bama does show out
16
and
and a
plays
half.
well. What do you
The
saying?
spread 16 and a half.
Yeah. Well, we jumped up to 17. But anyways,
I don't think so. Well, I'm saying because you could bet on 17. I don't know. That's a close one. I might have to bet on 17. You think that it'll be closer than that?
Yes, I think that Bama will be win by like 10 probably, somewhere around there. I think Bama kind of controls the whole game, but they don't play as well on the road. So I'm gonna go less than the spread.
Yeah, I could see that. In my opinion, it's probably the worst week to play a team is when they lose a close one like that. They have a chip on their shoulder, and this is an elimination game for them. So, yeah, it's the worst week that you could possibly play an SEC team. And with that being said, I think Bama wins by 25. So, yeah, I think their offense is starting to click. I think it clicks for even more this game. I think Holden and Brooks are there. I'm not necessarily with my dad and think that all 5 of them are NFL players by any means, but I think maybe 2
I
of
don't
them
think
are.
this is a good week to play Alabama. That's what I think.
And
After that Vandy game and Nick Saban was saying all that and the confidence they're going to have going into that game,
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good week to play Alabama. I think I don't want
I
to
think
jinx
Bama,
it is the
Bama
most
feels
part.
to me like they just lost.
I feel like they got a chip on their shoulder and they got to prove it too.
What's up, Daniel? We're recording the podcast. Say what's up.
Oh, hey. Are you really?
Yeah, we're recording it.
Dude.
All right, I'm going to hang up. He was talking. I just.
That's funny.
All right. Anyway, we're going to move on from sports for now. Unless you got something to say about anything else to say about that Bama game.
No, I think enough said.
All right, so first we're going to get into the MCU. Actually, just Marvel in general. We'll both kind of give a couple takes there. And then we're going to move over into our last category, as you guys know, most Googled today. Starting off, though, Cameron, I kind of want to hear about growing up with you and seeing your love for Tobey Maguire almost in a gay way. I just want to kind of hear your take on why he is the best Spider-Man, because there is 3 and they're all solid. They all have decent arguments. They're solid.
I don't
They
really
have
think you
different
can
takes,
make
decent
it.
arguments.
Okay.
But yeah,
So the best Spider-Man ever is Tobey Maguire, and there's just no doubt about it. First of all, he's the original. Everybody loves the OG. I mean, you can't get better than the OG. Second of all, he has the best Spider-Man movie. He also has the best Spider-Man trilogy. And he's the best Peter Parker. And especially in Spider-Man 2, how they depict how hard his life is and how realistic it would actually be to be Spider-Man. Like, they show how
the
hard
trials of being Peter.
Yes. And it humanizes him, and it's such a good movie because you relate to him and you feel for him and you understand why he would not want to be Spider-Man, and he gives up. And you see an actual person get beat down so hard that they actually give up. Because all you see with heroes is, they never give up. They keep going. Like, they have this just crazy will that can't be matched. But you actually see a superhero give up, and it shows you that. And that's why he's the best Peter Parker, too. He's also just an awkward and quirky actor, which is just how Peter Parker acts in the comics. So it's like a perfect mesh, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I think that the movies had the best villains, which brought out the best of Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Like Doc Ock's a great villain. Green Goblin's a great villain. Spider-Man 3 we won't talk about.
Yeah.
Sandman's okay, though, but those villains
I'm with
really
you,
brought
though.
out the best out of him.
Yeah. I agree with you. That was today, Carlisle.
Yeah, he's a goofy actor.
But so is Peter. Peter's a goofy
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
I'm with you. All right, so for my take on the MCU today, I'm just kind of gonna let me restart. For my take on the MCU today, I'm just gonna kind of go into why I think that Age of Ultron is the most underrated and overhated MCU film. For me, I get that maybe there's weird things in the plot or whatever. There's a lot of stuff I liked about it. For instance, the twins. You got the Scarlet Witch and her brother. Introducing the Scarlet Witch. Actually, let's start there. Those are 2 really, really good characters, and you can kind of see the progression of Scarlet Witch throughout all of the MCU films, so you know that she's a good character, especially when she's introduced. It goes a little bit into their backstory as well, which I liked. Another thing that made the plot really good is how comedically fun. It was actually funny. Like, it wasn't overdone. It was funny. One of my favorite scenes that was funny was the Hulkbuster scene. When
Go to sleep.
go to sleep. And then he goes, and then Hulk opens his eyes and he goes, "I'm sorry." He goes, it's just funny, bro. Like, it's actually a funny movie. I think that Ultron's an underrated villain.
I wish I could expand on him more.
Ultron was
That's the
created
thing.
out of the pride of Robert Downey Jr. of Iron Man. And that is one that is incredible, and it's a lesson that he learns that is kind of underrated. Because each Avenger within this movie goes through their own trial and has to overcome it. You see that especially with Captain America. Scarlet Witch does this really cool thing where she can go into your head and kind of put you in this hypnotic state. And even in that hypnotic state, Captain America is still in war. It starts out with a dancing scene, but it kind of moves over into like a war scene because he still has this PTSD from that time in his life, and you kind of see him go through that trial. I forgot to say there's another thing that's really funny in the movie is the hammer scene. They're all drinking. You kind of see like a humanized version of the Avengers. Where they're all just kind of chilling, they're all trying to pick up the hammer, joking around, drinking. Captain tries to pick up the hammer and gets that little nudge. The 2 theories on that is the first one, he just was saving the ego of Thor, not like, I know I can pick it up, but I'm not going to, leaving that to you. The second thing that I actually think is probably the truth is that he was hiding the fact that Iron Man's parents were killed by his friend Bucky. I think that's a better story because Cap was this close to being able to pick up the hammer, but there was one thing.
Well, and
that
he
just
struggled
wasn't
to
letting
pick it
go.
up. Like, he was trying to.
I think so too.
You could see his forearms.
Yeah, I think so too. So that's kind of the theory that I go with. Beyond that, I just think it's widely overhated for, a variety of reasons, I guess. But I think if you rewatch it today, it kind of holds up a little bit better than people think. Another way that the Avengers are humanized that I like is I don't know why I keep calling him Robert Downey Jr., but Tony Stark has these autonomous drones that fly around and kind of just play like police. They kind of keep security over the people. And the people are angry with the Avengers. The people are throwing stuff at the autonomous drones. They're hitting them with glass. And that is because the Avengers and their, kind of blinders on saving the world don't realize the destruction that they're all actually doing.
And it sets the stage for civil war.
Yeah. And this creates this shift in the Avengers where you see, Iron Man's team kind of and Captain America's team, and you kind of see like the setup for civil war in this movie.
It just creates a rift, really. You can see the tension between the team. Like when Thor goes in and starts choking Tony Stark for like what he's created and stuff, and then Cap's mad that Tony didn't communicate what he was doing when he created Ultron. And then when he was like, all right, guys, we need to create Vision, everybody's like, what the heck? You just made Ultron, and now you want to make another Superbot? And nobody was trusting him. And it, like, you could just see the tension rising in the room. And it set the stage for Civil War, I think, really well.
I agree. So, yeah, that's kind of my spiel on that. Josh, I think you have a good take on this. I can't remember which one it is. So let me know. I don't know. Maybe we'll have you on soon. And we can kind of let you kind of get stuff off your chest, I guess. But anyway, so I already pulled up the most Googled today on Google. We'll get into that. Well, yeah, on Google, obviously. But anything left?
No.
All right, cool. So the number one most thing Googled today was NASA. So I don't know what happened with NASA. I guess people are excited with this telescope. What happened with NASA, Bree? Do you know?
Maybe it's about them going to the moon. Sure.
Did it launch today? Actually, I don't think it's still as launched. I have a couple clients that work on it. It's pretty cool. NASCAR, Jupiter. I don't know why people
Maybe
are
we're
going
going to Jupiter.
Maybe something's happening there. Maybe that has to do with the NASA thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Cowboys, Giants, Monday Night Football. Myles Garrett. Who knows?
Myles Garrett probably did something.
He probably
stupid.
beat the crap out of somebody.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence. Pound to $1 because people don't know the difference, and neither do I. The Last of Us don't know what that is. Nancy Pelosi, because why not? Big Brother finale. Jimmy Butler, the GOAT.
Oh,
Trent
because of his
Williams.
hair. Did you see Jimmy Butler's haircut?
Did he change it again, or the dreads?
It's whack. It
It's
looks
on
like a
Instagram.
floor mop.
Yeah, I saw it on the dreads.
Yeah, that's rough.
I saw the dreads on Instagram. Snoop Dogg and Matt Collins. So yeah, that's the most Googled. I'm surprised that smile thing isn't on Google. Have you seen that?
Oh, the horror movie?
Yeah, so basically the horror movie Smile has set up all these people at different events. For instance, there was one lady at a Major League Baseball game, and she was sitting behind home plate, and she was just smiling, like this huge smile. And I showed that to Bree. But they had people at like a bunch of different places yesterday, and they were all doing the smile thing. And they're using it as like basically a commercial. Like there was one at Good Morning America standing behind Good Morning America smiling. And it's the smartest advertisement I've ever seen. Like, I might go see this movie just because of that.
I want to see it.
Like, MLB posted this lady smiling. Like, it was a super weird thing. And
That's cool.
It's just an advertisement for their movie. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's so cool.
I like creativity, so I'll probably go see it just because of that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I might go see it. Like, I feel like I have to go see it now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I agree.
All right, ladies and gents. I guess that's all we have for today. We know you love today's video, so please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. We're at 71 subscribers. When we get to 100, you're going to see our play button. It's going to blow your mind.
It will.
All right, Cam, it's been a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Our Instagram is Good Point Bro. Our TikTok is Good Point Bro. Go ahead and follow us on both of those. As you know, you can find us on YouTube at the Good Point Bro podcast. It's been a pleasure. The next time you guys will see us will be Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys stay safe. It's been fun.
Peace.
Later.